when people are engaging with your brand, whether you're a nonprofit, whether you're a for-profit, people are engaging with your brand because they want to get something out of it.
Yeah.
And your news is not necessarily their news unless you tell them that it's their news. And normally a newsletter is, hey, here's what we've done. Here's what we're doing. And so, like I said, it's not that you can't send out a newsletter, but if that's all you're doing, you're missing out on an incredible opportunity to leverage an email list.
Yeah. Clay, I got a coffee fact for you.
Yeah, we're gonna talk a lot about increasing revenue, ramping up those conversions, and a little bit about coffee.
Hey, Clay, I've got a really fun coffee fact for you.
Bring it.
It might be more of a pet peeve, if I could be honest with you. I was just thinking about this while sipping on my espresso.
Got to stick the finger out.
Pinky up. If you were to go to a shop and you order a cappuccino, and if the barista asks you what size, run. Cappuccinos do not have sizes. Okay, people. Cappuccino is espresso, and usually, so it's a 8 to 10 ounce drink.
Yep.
So it's usually 2 ounce espresso, 6 to 8 ounce milk.
Yeah.
Steamed milk. Not a lot of foam, people. Okay, it is nice micro foam bubbles, and it should be enjoyable. And so, a cappuccino, 8 to 10 ounce drink.
Speaking of pet peeves,
Yes.
email newsletters.
Don't even get me started.
All right, kick us off, man.
Welcome back to Coffee and Conversions, where we are talking all things marketing, converting leads, pipeline into revenue growth, and a little bit of coffee.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Love it. All right, so
Talking emails today.
email newsletters specifically.
Ooh.
All right, everybody loves a good email newsletter.
Can I tell you
Hashtag not true.
No.
Go ahead.
My favorite time of year is somewhere around Christmas,
It's the
Black
most wonderful
Friday,
time. Yeah.
because I go into my email, Clay, and I hit unsubscribe.
But we never subscribe to begin with.
99% of them I never subscribe to.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. So how are they helpful for businesses?
I think the question of are email newsletters dead is different than the question of is email marketing dead? So got to separate those two.
Two different things.
Email newsletters, not good marketing.
I don't even know if it's marketing.
Well, it is putting your name out there. The problem is it's in an echo chamber because you're only sending a newsletter to the people who care about your news,
right?
Which is this many people who can pay you money and this many people who work for your staff.
Yeah, staff, probably your mom.
Yeah.
And maybe previous clients.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Now I'm being really hard on the newsletter. Let's just put it this way. There is so much more you should be doing before you think about a newsletter. So if you really have it in you that you have a ton of news that goes out every single month or every quarter or once a year that you think whoever's on your list needs to get, go for it.
It's fine.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that is what you should be doing with your time.
Because what's the intent?
What's the intent? There are so many better ways to leverage email to get to where we're trying to go, which is revenue.
Could you imagine?
What a concept, right? So we want to make more revenue, increase our revenue, and emails are a way to do that.
Yeah. Why do we love email? But just really quick, why do we
Well, you own it.
Yes.
You own it.
It's one of the only owned medias that a business actually has.
If you play by the rules.
Correct.
Yeah. If you break the rules, you get blacklisted and you cannot actually deliver emails. But that's play by the rules. You'll be all right.
Yep.
So email newsletters. What I normally get in a newsletter, especially when the subject line is newsletter, company name.
My favorite.
Hashtag delete right there. I'm not even looking at it. I'm so sorry. I have so many better things to do.
Yeah.
The newsletter is great for internal, but it's not great for external. Reason being, when people are engaging with your brand, whether you're a nonprofit, whether you're a for-profit, people are engaging with your brand because they want to get something out of it.
Yeah.
And your news is not necessarily their news unless you tell them that it's their news. And normally a newsletter is, hey, here's what we've done. Here's what we're doing. And so, like I said, it's not that you can't send out a newsletter, but if that's all you're doing, you're missing out on an incredible opportunity to leverage an email list. One of my dear friends who has been leading StoryBrand for many, many years, Dr. J.J. Peterson, he said that on average, you should expect to make $10 per month per email in your contact list. Okay. That's not just for people selling widgets. That's for anybody. So, all right, well, how do you work backwards from that? How do you generate revenue with an email list? Well, first off, you got to be sharing value with them, and not just once a month. It should be in context with how they engage. It should be in context with the buying cycle. It should be in context with what is relevant in that industry. Some industries, you shouldn't be sending an email once a week. But others, you should be sending an email once a day. And now, who has time to go do that?
Well, again, we have to think about, where is our customer? Where is our potential buyer? How did we get their email in the first place? If it's an email, I mean, if we're just talking newsletter, they've engaged with you somehow. You got that email in the first place. So you already gave them some value. And so if we can think about the context of how they're going to receive that newsletter, if let's say they're a busy business owner themselves, they are probably getting on minimum 20 emails a day. That's like conservative minimum. Some of them way more. That they already don't want to look at. Plus all the internal emails that they're getting, that they're trying to use to grow business and talk to their team. And, we have to understand in that context. And so, to your point, subject line, content value, those things are really going to be important as far as sort of joining the authentic conversation. I don't know about you, but like my email list, I'm opening things that are in my context. Potential customers, internal team. And those kind of subject lines are usually more authentic and less like, we can 10x your growth. Like it's just, it's authentic things that I'm like, oh yeah, I need to go take action on this, or I need to go talk to that person. And so in the context of where that person is really valuable to understand.
Absolutely. And this is an entire industry, is email marketing. And to try to boil it down into a few minutes it's not doing it enough justice. So we'll have to circle back on this topic. But when it comes to a newsletter, here's my recommendation. Here's the next step. If you have a limited amount of resources, time, money, manpower, I would say cut your email newsletter and develop a evergreen nurture campaign. So an evergreen nurture campaign, I'm using insider language. Let me unpack that for you. Evergreen, meaning it doesn't require it to go out at a specific time, or the information doesn't expire. So meaning it's going to be relevant in 6 months, just like it is right now. Now, obviously industries change, so go back and check on it regularly. But you want it to be going out to your customers and to whoever's on this list based off of their engagement with it, not based off of just your whim of availability to work on an email. So you want to set it up in some sort of email marketing platform where it's dripping out based off of how they engage. All right. So that's evergreen. Nurture campaign. Most people think emails are either to share information, i.e. a newsletter, or to sell someone on something. I vote that there's actually a third option. That third option is you give value. So in the context of a school, a private school, the emails going out, bless you, the emails going out should be going out in like, hey, here are 3 helpful ways to, bless you again. You're extra blessed today, Luke.
Extra.
So 3 ways that you can raise your kindergartner to be ready for first grade. That is helpful information, but you're not trying to sell them on the school. So apply that to any industry and you are in a really good spot. So write 20 of them, 30 of them. And you may say, that's a lot of emails to write. Well, the goal would be that you're not having to go in and think about your nurture campaigns ever. I mean, maybe once a year, twice a year.
Yeah.
And so those nurture campaigns should go out once a week or once every other week, just giving value. And that builds rapport, builds trust. We live in a post-trust world. People don't want to be sold to. They want to be they want to be cared for.
Yeah.
And you should be joining them in their story.
Yep.
Not necessarily asking them to join yours. And that's what a newsletter does, is it says, hey, come and join our story because it matters more than yours.
Yeah.
That's the unintentional message that you're sending. But in fact, you should be sending the other, hey, we want to join yours and here's some helpful information.
Yeah.
So that's my recommendation on next step.
Yeah. I'll take it a final step further.
Bring it.
Send Clay and I your emails. Send me your email, and I'm going to give you raw and honest feedback.
Yeah.
Like here, you can luke@goodagency.com, put me on your email list, and I'm very excited to see if it really meets your potential client where you're at.
Absolutely.
And so if you're interested in that, put me on your email list. If this kind of conversation is exciting to you, share the video, subscribe to what's going on here, YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever you're listening, or if you're in here short form. We were really grateful for you. But in the meantime, keep those conversions coming and make sure you're having a good cup of coffee.
Cheers.